The folks back there I'll introduce them in a second. Mike Reed is the marketing director, and we hit it off pretty good. It's a brand new bourbon company, high-end bourbon, and they've developed a great relationship, and they're one of our new sponsors, and their booth downstairs is across from the membership and the marketing booth, so they're gonna want you to stop by. They got two lovely faces back there. Mike, you guys wanna wave hi to everybody?
Do they have any free stuff?
They think they will in St. Louis. They got a lot of permits to jump through the hoops. They could do that, but we just wanted to mention that we thank you for being on board and being part of the Elks family. And I kind of resemble that title of your brand right now, but Old Elk. But delicious, and get a chance to go down and say hey to them when you get a chance. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Okay, we're settled in. Thank you for your time and your talent and all you've been doing to keep on helping getting our numbers better and better and better. Together we've been, since day one, since New Orleans, doing everything we can to change Elkton, to look at Elkton through the lodge level, to make our future better, to build Elkton one new member at a time, to create the next generation of Elks. And today we'll go through some things that are going to be brand new to help your lodges, to help your states, again, to make sure that we are on track. We also have an exciting opportunity, and we're going to expand this. It's going to grow legs, and the idea actually came from the people on the panel. There's a couple areas that we all need to do, and one of the questions we all want is not only how to grow younger in our lodge, have younger people take over the mantle and lead, but to do it in the most smartest and most productive, and do it in harmony with our more seasoned members. So we have a panel of exalted rulers and past exalted rulers under 40, and I want to build this group. And we're going to do some amazing things together so we can march Elkton and create an even bigger and brighter future and answer those questions. How do we get younger? How do we pass on the next generation? And again, to do that hand in hand without conflict. So we're going to have a really good panel. But some of the things that we're going to offer you and go through today, they're going to be available now, like we've done every time. So is that exciting? Yeah. You all can sit down someplace up there. I can see you've got a lot of people on the wall. There's a lot of seats. If you've got 2 seats over there, they're selling them for $1 each right now. They're going on. While they're sitting, could the Grand Lodge committeemen that in your areas, can the Grand Lodge people that work with me every day stand up, please? Guys, stand up. What I have here is Pete Smith, Area 2. These are the people that you can go to, as well as myself. They're all subject matter experts. Mark Sellers, this is his area, Area 6. Ed Geishart, Area 4. Andy Costello, Area 7, those West Coast guys. David Neely will be taking over Area 5. Steve Meyer will be taking over Area 8. Going to be a pretty exciting area for you guys this year with Alaska being the grand. Lisa Collins, it will be Area 1, that's all New England and New York. And those are the folks that are going to be down the booth, ready to meet you, ready to help you every day and work with you to grow membership and grow your image in your lodge. Sound good? Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's touch on some quick basics that we can all make sure. I always do try to get everybody interactive. This is really important. How many people have gone on elks.org sometimes and have a hard time finding what they need to find? So I always like to make sure that you guys know everything that we do, and we do from the beginning and we will do from the future, is in one spot and one spot only. And then we keep on building on that. Elks.org, and where do you find it? Membership Toolkit. And everything, printables, everything we'll put on, we do for you is in one spot, because time's a big thing for us. We want to make sure that we know where to look and keep everything organized. So again, we'll have that a test later. Elks.org, membership toolkit. Okay. Just keep on making sure the old Elk membership program, before we put this in, produced a result of nearly a 1 million member loss. So we didn't think that was a very good idea to continue that, do you? my first 4 years ago, and they said, what do you think of the membership program we currently have? And I said, it reminds me of rearranging the deck furniture in the Titanic. So we pretty much have changed it, and we continue to change it. And again, our whole philosophy is that we build one member at a time, a stronger, more active member, which builds a stronger, more active lodge, which makes Grand Lodge even better. And that's what we continue to do. We build that way, and I hope we still agree that's the way to go. That's how we change Elkton. That's how we make things better, and that's why our numbers and everything we do. You know, coincidentally, and it shouldn't really be coincidentally, our government relations numbers, when we have more members and we stop losing. 2 years ago, actually last year, I told you we had our best year in membership, and our charitable numbers increased by over $60 million in the United States of America. They go hand in hand. This year we had even a better year, and they doubled. We hit a record $675 million, the greatest, the highest charitable numbers ever in Elks history. That's great. You can clap. That's pretty amazing. Membership is everything, and without that, it doesn't work. The orientation program, we're going to hit it, and we're going to continue to do it. The education of new members, when we all joined, we talked about, when we joined, it just started and ended on orientation night. And we sort of fire hosed all the information and hoped that member would be active and educated and within 1 hour. And of course, that's part of the million member loss. It didn't work. So we continue to create virtual experiences to be a partner to the orientation. So the orientation starts at the lodge level, and then we expand it into all the other programs. And we continue to move on those. Let's talk about that. Again, the orientation is the most important thing we do. And I will emphasize, I love ritual. I love ritual. I've been a 2-time All-American ritual coach. I think ritual is great in the whole bit. I'm not part of the debate, but I will tell you, in my mind, the most important thing we do in this order is orientation. That's where we change. That's where we change Elkton. That's where we get people active. And to me, in my mind, and I hope that you'll agree, we got 90 days, up to 90 days, to make that new member an active elk, or they're not going to be active. To make them the muscle of the lodge, to make them you. We have 90 days, and everything we need to do needs to light that fire in the 90 days. Sort of makes sense? So that's part of where we go. But orientation is the most important thing we do. It all starts there. One of the situations, we're going to get back to orientation, we continue to need your help. 4 years ago, the biggest problem we had in Elkton was we didn't have anybody joining. There were no applications. We can't get anybody to fill them out. They're not coming in. Guess what, folks? You know what the biggest problem is 4 years later? We can't get all those new members initiated. We can't get them in the door. It's an actual problem. It's an actual problem. For another year, we have the smallest loss, the 0.5%. It's basically a break-even year. We had, again, more than double the amount of candidates than we had as a loss. And we continue to focus on getting everybody to understand that the new judiciary change in 2011 to help you get them moved through the door. We have new reports to help all your district deputies, and we just went through a special training of the special deputies. We have new reports, kind of like the Domino's pizza tracker. When you order the pizza, by the time it gets to your house, we actually create reports for everybody to see how long each application. We rolled this out till we became a member, because we got to get those members through the door. We need them. We got a great orientation program. We need to add muscle to the lodge. We need to initiate these members. So right now, one of our biggest concerns and our biggest priorities is schedule initiation. Good problem to have, right? When you started and we started together in New Orleans, we were averaging 53,000 new members and reinstatements a year. 53,000. You know what we hit this year? It goes up every year. We're up 27%. 76,000 people now join the Elks this year. Heck yeah, you did it. I didn't do it, you did it. We had our best retention numbers. We said they go through the front door and they go out the back. When we started in New Orleans, our delinquency, our percentage for people going out the back door was over 13%. You know what it was this year? Under 6%. Cut it in half. Cut it in half 4 years, and it's just begun. All the metrics are in our favor. Everybody. You guys are still coming in the door. You must think this is the cafeteria. You thought there was free lunch here. So come on in. one of the goals, and you fight this all the time, we all fight change, but when change is for the good and change is for the better, we embrace it, we should run to it. Again, we need to make sure that our lodges know we need to get these members initiated. And with a great orientation program and more metrics and more motivation out there, we have muscle. So change that, move forward with it. I know that most of the people in this room are doing that. We're getting better numbers, but we need to initiate people and we need to strive for 30 days. The best state this past year, when we did the metrics on the new report, and this is, you're going to be able to find this, you're going to see this pop up on Clem's. How many district deputy designates are in the audience? You'll be going through this on Monday. Yeah, you got a new report. Lucky you, you love me. You got a new report. So again, when we track through and your sponsors, they're actually seeing right to the lodge, right to the member, how many days. The best state in the country this year, we went through the data and we looked, and they got the first gain ever, well, not ever, but in the recent history. Washington initiates candidates faster than anybody. And I see my, Ben, stand up. His lodge is one of the fastest growing lodges every year in the country. They got an award down there, and they bring in so many members. You actually initiate, your lodge initiates people quicker than almost every lodge in the nation. And tell them about your growth. Tell them who you are, what your lodge, and what your numbers have been the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, I'm Ben Braden. I'm past exalted ruler, Valley Elks Lodge, we're just north of downtown Seattle. And great place on the water. Our membership is growing on average about 25 members a month.
Wow.
So we bring in, some initiations are 70 people. Our small ones are 22, but bring in over 300 members a year. At rate, but we do also have a lapsation problem and delinquency issues that we got it down to 8% last year. So we're getting better on that work.
And your average, you bring people in pretty quickly. You look like you're with them 45 days every time that your candidates come in. You're initiating people every month. And so it just shows you, they're paydays to us. They're paydays. Who likes paydays? I like paydays.
I like paydays.
Okay. So we have new reports to help us get us through, so you're going to see people pushing through. But it's a new problem in Elkton. It's a new problem in Elkton. A lot of people want to join. Isn't that a good problem? Okay. Let's go back to the orientation, and we'll get through it, because we keep on expanding that. We have a whole virtual experience. All these videos on My Journey Begins. So again, the whole philosophy was the orientation starts at the lodge level. We have the new surveys, you guys do the orientation, we have the new video, and then you push them into My Journey Begins. And again, and we'll show you how we're helping push them even more after you get that. So they click on this, they get greeted by Brian Klatt. They have certain videos. All these videos are short little burst videos. They can watch them from wherever, whenever. There's no pass or fail. There's no connection in terms of, they have to take a test after or anything like that. So they watch these videos, like our homeless veterans videos, our hoop shoot videos, things that inspire a new member to see the big picture, to say, this is a great organization. Those things help us retain and get excited and get them involved. And then we go down to click and share the story. We ask them, we're starting to collect data. Tell us about your first 30 days. Tell us about your first 3 months. How's things going? Are you active in your lodge? And so we're trying to create more touch points to bring back more data for you to help that first 2 years, especially the first year, to get them excited. Remember we talked about getting them involved in the first 90 days? So we're gonna keep on expanding on this. But right now, these virtual experiences, My Journey Begins, is helping us greatly. How many people, and it's again, not everybody knows that we're doing this. How many people know that we have a virtual orientation experience that's been up for a little bit now to help the new members get involved beyond yours? How many people know that we're doing that? So a lot of people didn't know. So that's great. So how many people think that's a great idea, that they can actually, yay! Even better. And I want to make sure, because when you roll something out in the country, so now, where would you find this? If you wanted to go look at this virtual experience, where would you find it? Elks.org? Oh my God, Rick, that's a great place. One place, all right. Good. So that's open for you to look at 24/7, yes? So this past year, we launched, and we were telling you about it last year in Reno, and we've been really doing great with this. So let's talk about the new member. They come in, the first time that you knew about the Grand Exalted Ruler, you got a magazine in the mail. Oh, they travel a lot. That's the Grand Exalted Ruler. What's important? That was your experience with the Grand Exalted Ruler, unless you became an Exalted Ruler and came to the convention, right? There was no real true connection. As of this past year, what we've done, we're leveraging Clems now like we've never done before, and we've just begun. And we're taking the information, we do a download every Sunday, and we send all the new members that you put in your system, and you're doing a great job, by the way, giving us emails. Thank you so much. And we have an official greeting. Every new member since this past year gets greeted by the Grand Exalted Ruler, a personal greeting, not dear new member. Dear Jim, dear Linda, welcome to the order. The Grand Exalted Ruler personally greets every new member within the first 10 days that they join. How many people didn't know that we were doing that? Yeah, cool, right? So we're doing these things with you and for you behind the scenes. Now what we've done, you probably can't see everything, and I'm going to show you the metrics on this. It's a knockout. It's absolutely a knockout. And most of the room doesn't even know we're doing this. But we did over 60,000 new members so far out of the 75 that came in. And so they click on, the Grand Exalted Ruler welcomes them, which is really professional and really friendly. It's so cool, instead of just a magazine, traveling. And on top of that, so they really get to hit it. They click to register. Over 20% of the people we go now register on elks.org. Then they go in, and the Grand Exalted Ruler encourages them to take the virtual orientation. It's over 20% that they're clicking in, and they're seeing these motivational videos about the Elks, and they can see as many as they want as they click, and we start having a conversation with the new member about how things are going. We actually start sending them things here and there, a shirt or whatever, to keep the dialogue going. Not solicitation, but retention, motivation. Get involved in your lodge, get excited. And so we're learning things about ourselves, and we're learning things about the new member to make sure you have a more active, more inspired to recruit, to get involved than ever before. It's a new direction that we've just begun, but I think we would all agree it's a great step for all of us together to build a better Elkdom, yes?
Yes.
So, why not leverage it more? Who's the best opportunity for our growth? Our new members. How many people are on social media? I'm up to almost 2,800 Elk friends. I even know some of them. I even know them. Susie and I communicate 2,800 times a day too, right? It's ablaze right now. Social media, the way it grew, it started with 1 friend to 4 billion. And it starts at 1 friend at a time. It's called organic growth. And one of the things that we have in common, it's a referral-based business or organization. And referral-based businesses or organizations are the most successful. Guess what, folks? What are the Elks? Referral-based organization. Oh, that's great for us. It really works. So Facebook, when you get a new friend, don't you get all these recommendations for friends, their friends and family, right? And that's how you build. Well, that's how we build with new members. Our new members should be coming from the people who just joined, because every time we get a new member, we open up to their friends and family. But we have to do it in a strategic and motivating way. So let's start with the first 2 weeks that they join. They're excited. They just went through an orientation. They went on My Journey Begins. They're all excited to join. And at the end, the Grand Exalted Ruler says, hey, why not invite your friends and family? And they click on the bottom. Invite your friends and family to join the Elks. And guess what they get? What would they get to invite their friends and family? An application. That's a brilliant idea. So we're right going to them. So when you say, how do you go from 50,000 new members to 76,000 new members? Because we're adding things. We're being smarter. We're leveraging Clems. We're getting people excited. The more opportunity they have to join. So we're going to expand on this. When we joined the Elks, I was a secretary for 14 years. they're probably like thinking the day that I'm not anymore, so I certainly am, but you would have to go to the lodge secretary, can I have an application? Or Progressive Lodges would have them all over. You're gonna see us expand where the application is gonna be one of the most simplest things to do. You're gonna see this year that we're gonna get into, you'll be able to just download the application, you'll have friends and family over to your house. You'll be able to fill in the application and send it right into your secretary. So the easiest thing that we should have is a downloadable application. So we leverage this with the new members, and we're about to leverage it all on elks.org for you. Sound like a good idea? Yeah, instead of saying, hey, let me go down to the lodge, get an application. Well, those people have already left the house. Let me fill this out. Let's get on our computers, let's get on our apps, and let's fill it out right there, electronic sign it, get it right in, and get them initiated and get them excited. Sound good? So the e-greeting, going out to new members, the statistics are over 20% of all the new members that are coming in. Take the journey now since this e-greeting started, and obviously we're growing in terms of the new members coming in. Good thought, good direction. Put your creative caps on, and we're going to expand on it. Give us some more ideas, but we've moved on this. It's up and running. It's been up and running a year, and now you know about it. So again, show of hands, the e-greeting, good idea, good help. Yes. Yeah, you can clap.
Yeah.
Going back to the whole direction that we need to think, just like we were marketers of Coca-Cola, the main job for us would be to sell more Coca-Cola. What we do and how to join, where we were broken before in that 1 million member loss. Remember, public relations was over here, membership was over there. So let's keep in mind that that was a really big mistake. That was rearranging the deck furniture on the Titanic, as we call it. When you have one of these wings off that plane, does that plane take flight? When you have the second wing off that plane, does that plane take flight? It rusts, it stays on the ground, and it loses 1 million members. That's what happened. What we've done the last 4 years is put those wings back on that plane, and we're taking flight again. What we do and how to join, we're being more innovative. We're thinking from the lodge level up. We're looking at all the ways we can leverage to give you more materials and make things happen. And so that we have to think that always at the lodge level. How do we get membership out of this? When membership grows, do we have an opportunity for the increase in revenue for beverage and food at the lodge?
Yes.
If we have more members that are more active, what happens to our lodge? Oh my God, you guys actually might not have to have 17 committees under your umbrellas, right? 17 titles and be past exalted ruler 9 times. We add to the muscle, right? We add to the, people are going, thank you, you know. We create more of you. We create more of you. Everything goes, and you look at the opposite. When there's less members in our lodges, how hard is it to fill our committees? How hard is it to get people in the chairs? How hard is it for you to get a rest? Everything's hard. But building numbers isn't the hard part. Building active elks, that's the job. We agree? Building muscle, and you'll see everything we do has that in mind, okay? All your committeemen have been actually trained and will continue to be trained. We have a new media platform that's going to help you and help you greatly. And you're going to go, and the best compliment I got recently was sort of an insult, but I'm pretty thick-skinned, so I took it as a compliment anyway. After I got done explaining some of these things, they said, one of the states, any of my friends from Nebraska here? I think it was Nebraska. They said, I didn't think the Elks were capable of thinking this sophisticated. So I took it as a compliment. We created a vision for our media platforms, and we partnered and went to a company to help move this forward, and then we've been training on it, and we started it last year, and we're going to expand on it. We have a media platform called Meltwater, and it handles all from the radio, the TV, the print, mobile apps, the whole bit. The first of the year, we learned how to track all the news things all through the country, and now we've been all trained on the influencers. And influencers, the things that it does for us. Let's say that your Veterans Committee, we actually trained your Veterans Committee, Ed and I and Andy, yesterday They're really excited by this, and we're opening it up to everybody. So let's say it's veterans. We can actually take our filters in this sophisticated media program, Meltwater, that we use, and we can say, Susie, say it's Florida. We can look at all the Florida and say you have a media release or something that you lodge level or state level or district level. You want this article, let's say homeless veterans or veterans in general. We can actually take for your whole footprint. We can take how big it is, whatever states. We can say we want everyone on print, TV, whatever it might be, who has written a story about that topic, that subject. We have these filters. And they will actually pop up on our filters, not the publications only, but the actual people who wrote. And this actually goes, instead of the articles going to like a letter to the editor, we're going to the specific targets, their mailbox, so there's no spam. And we're actually able to work with you right now, and we can target and hit those, so right down to the filter. So the people that are passionate about the topic, whether it's hoop shoe, we can use our filters, say it's youth activities and basketball. We can actually look at that granular of a level right now and place your news release right into the media. So no longer do we stand in line. We target the influencers that actually are writing on those topics, and we can do that for you, and then we get the results back. It's pretty cool. So we're ready. They've all been trained. They've all been trained over, how many hours did you guys go through so far with that? So it's a very complex thing. We also do too on this, so we get reports back all the time, how the states, how the lodges are doing. But what's in it for you is with your news releases and things that you might have trouble getting and you want to place strategically. So you want to talk to the reporters who actually have a passion on the topic. We also have heat maps that we've been able to develop. If we get a bad article about us, I actually have, say it's New Jersey. I'll say New Jersey because I'm from New Jersey. You guys can pick on New Jersey. Say it's we get a bad article from a lodge in New Jersey. I get a flash in red. I get a heat map. What it does, it allows me, or New Hampshire, Lisa's back there, we'll be able to look at the story. And if it's incorrect, it tells me who the reporter wrote it, his direct email box, and I can send them a correction or defend the order immediately the same day. So we have a very sophisticated media platform right now that we're going to work with you to expand our image, to expand our message, to help you get to the targeted reporters. And it's all platforms, whether it's radio, TV, print, mobile apps, Facebook. We got it. We're ready to go. All new, ready to help you at the lodge level. Your Grand Lodge committeeman on each area can work with you. You can contact them. You just go downstairs and see who they are, or go to elks.org, membership toolkit, and say, hey, give me a hand placing these articles. Whether it's your lodge, whether it's your state, whether it's a committee, we're here for you. Sound good? Yeah. How many people think that is a pretty incredible tool? How many also think it was the same thing? I didn't think Grand Lodge could think that sophisticated. For you, it's simple. For you, it's simple. Help me place my article in the right hands to promote what I'm doing in my community bigger and better than ever before, and help me knock down that door. So that's what it means to you. Okay, so let's, this past year with the 150th, we learned something from each other, which is really cool, is that we learned that if we put printables and started branding inside of the bar with the 150th, that you would love it, that if you could print out placemats and table tent cards and us help brand the image of Elkton inside our lodges, because not only could it get us a chance to educate our members on what we're doing, but we have so many visitors come in our lodge. So we could really promote Elkton with one stronger voice. And you guys were, and we'll continue to do that with the 150th, but we went, wow, this is really working. So we came up with 2 new branding opportunities for you. We expanded our indoor branding opportunity and our outdoor to promote Elkton to our members, to our community, and so you can do it right through the lodge level, and we're gonna do it niche, so we can do it granular. What does not work, or we do not believe that works, is the old school method that one size fits all. Bradenton, Florida doesn't have the same needs as Lincoln, Nebraska. We need to make sure we tailor our products. We need to make our art niche for you to make your lodge bigger and better in your community. It has to be tailored to the lodge level for it to succeed. We agree?
Yes.
While we are together in many things, we're very unique in others. But your specific lodge is our target, not one-size-fits-all approaches. So I think you'll appreciate that. So the indoor branding opportunity, one of the new things, and these are printables. When you go home, you'll probably see it either by the time you leave here, as soon as I get a chance to put it up, but it's ready to go. And I'll probably have it done before you leave. You're going to enjoy this. You know how I always, I labeled years ago those people who sit at the corner of the bar and they do nothing but complain, and I call them the Midnight Trustees. And I gave them names: Bud Light, Harry Heineken. And because I believe so much in diversity, I got a new one. She's a female, Stella. I got Stella on board now. So we got to have that, right? And so, but I'm thinking, you know, they've really hurt the culture of us. We all agreed on that for years, because part of our million-member loss through that time period is we became bars with an Elks Lodge. And the resurgence of Elkton, when it was great and when it's great again, is we're an Elks Lodge with a bar. You know, it's a big difference. When you're a bar with an Elks Lodge, you're not going to succeed. There's no loyalty. It's not what we are intended to be. Yeah, we all like to drink, we like to party, we like to have a good time, we like to celebrate. That's good. But what this order means to this country, and when it's at its peak, is when we're an Elks Lodge with a bar. We do know the difference, people that know the difference in this room. And so I'm thinking, with these Midnight Trustees, since I've been having such a good time with them, what can I learn from them? And what can we learn from together? And sometimes, if you can't beat them, you join them, and then you educate them. And so we have a new program. I want you to have a little fun with this. And it's going to be printables, and it's going to be printables now, and it's going to be available, and you can print them out as placemats, and it'll also help you educate your guests that come in the lodge, and it can also educate your members. One of the things that happens in all our lodges is people sit at the bar, and they state facts that are not true about Elkton. Yes?
Yes.
Confident as could be, but they're not true. You know, this is the Elks have had this for this. And you're looking going, it's not true. That's not, and they kind of get passed down, right? So we've done so much. You know, $675 million, the premier charitable and patriotic organization in the nation. We've done so much, and our own members, you know, state things that aren't correct. And then I keep on looking at whose fault in that. And I looked in the mirror and it said, it's our fault. Then it's my fault. And so together we change that. So I created a new program for us to put together. It's up, and we're gonna have a little fun. So I'm gonna ask you a question. It's kind of like Jeopardy, and you yell back, Elks do. Elks do. So have a little fun. After 3, and then you yell back Elks do. 1, 2, 3. Elks do. Okay, so we'll have a little fun. So some of the things that are on here, I'm getting a little aged here. I got to put the cheaters on. So on these printables, and we're going to expand on this, are things that the Elks do that people don't know. Who furnishes food, comfort care items, therapeutic items and gifts, holiday celebrations, recreational activities at bases and hospitals, and stands ready to fill the needs when they're called upon?
Elks do.
Who visits thousands of hospitalized veterans annually that have protected our freedoms?
Elks do.
Who has entered a partnership with the VHA to support homeless veterans in the communities and pledged $4 million to help veterans homelessness?
Elks do.
Who awards college scholarships across the nation totaling more than $4 million?
Elks do.
So you get kind of the idea. So this is all printable. So you're going to see when you get on there, there's different sizes for your bar. You just print them out on different paper. There's things you can clean. You can print out placemats. So the Elks Do program is for our lodge members, our Midnight Trustees, and our guests that come through our building and go, I didn't know the Elks did that. And it's called Elks Do. So it's a fun but educative, to educate our members and our guests, and to inspire and to state from fact. We got so much good things we do. And isn't it good that we all learn and we can stand behind them and say, no, this is what the Elks do. So that's kind of cool. You like the idea?
Yes.
Because the Elks do, right? Available when? Now. Available where?
Toolkit.
It's toolkit. I heard somebody say a dirty word. I know it. Again, expanded on the indoor branding for you, niche. And it's what? How much money does this cost? Oh my God, Rick, that's really good. That's a good price. Thank you very much, because we're on a tight budget. 0, 0, 0, 0. And will you niche this specifically for my lodge? Oh yeah. How quickly do we respond when we get these requests? Ooh, Ooh, that's a pretty good idea. Pretty good idea, because we need it now. So we started Build the Brochure program about 2 or 3 years ago. And a lot of you have taken advantage of it, and a lot of you haven't. We tailor-make brochures for your lodge, for your committees, for your state-made projects. What we've done this year, and Ed and I and Andy, Mary Morgan, your Veterans Committee, not only do we still have to build a brochure, but now we've made it even more targeted to help us. One of the things we all need in our lodges, when we have a new member, we want to get them involved, we need to build our committees up. We need to get them active in a committee, yes? Yes. So we started with the veterans yesterday, and they're jazzed. How many people were at the veterans meeting yesterday? Well, then let me tell you, since none of you are aware of what we're doing. We're building specific niche brochures for your committees, right from the lodge level or the state level, to recruit people on your committees. We'll take whoever your committee chairman is, we'll ask you questions about your activities, when they meet, what the committee accomplishments, and they're all targeted, like this is a veteran one, targeted to recruit people on the Veterans Committee in the lodge to get them active. So whatever committees that you might have where you're trying to build these new members on, we send this to you. We work with you hand in hand with our art staff to give you specifically what you do, because again, you're unique in your footprint. When you meet, who's your chairman, who's the contact, whatever it might be, we tailor-make these brochures to get these people active on their committees so you can hand them. So during your orientation, hey, this is what we do in veterans, here's the contacts. We also send it to you in PDF format so you can email it to people, because there's a lot of Elks out there that are not active in the lodges that maybe we can still light a fire on, right? Why not take a shot at that too? So, so we do these brochures. We can promote your lodge specifically. You just send us the information that you want. You want a shell. We send you the shell, and then we ask you certain questions. Then we build it for you, and we send it back to you. And we change it whenever you want. Whenever your leadership changes, whatever, or maybe a new thing that you want on there, we make it for you, we do it for you, and we're also adding right to the committee level to drive new members why they should be part of these committees, to help them stronger, add more muscle, and do it from the lodge level. Very niche, very granular, and hopefully very effective. But only you can ask for it, and we want to do it. We want to be your partner to succeed. Sound good? Yes. Veteran people are great. They're ready to go. And the one thing that we've stayed away from, again, we don't do one size fits all. We believe doing it for the lodge level, and keeping inventories at Grand Lodge and adding shipping costs. We've tried not to do anything like that. We try to let you negotiate. We do the artwork. We have the branding correct. We do the niche artwork. And then you can print it on your own. Find a local printer who you're working with hand in hand every day, and let you do business the best way you know how, for the benefit and good of your lodge. Try to get out of that business. Just try to be a partner to your success. Sound good? Yes. Okay. So outdoor branding. Outdoor branding. One of the things that we need to remember with our image, we see it all the time, our image, our image, our image. Here we are, the premier patriotic and charitable organization in the country. Nobody does it better than us, 675 million. Nobody could ever replace us. No one. And we know the importance of this. But our image is still not what we've earned, or what we really deserve anyway. We deserve better. And you start looking in the mirror again. Why? Why isn't our image good in our community? I'm going to preach this and teach this until it's totally correct. I've traveled, I'm going to continue to travel the country to visit you, to go out there and teach and be part, as much as I can, to be front and center and teach as many people about these programs and learn more about each state's needs and touch the product every day. But one of the things I learned personally when I go out and I'm in the image and I look across the country and I see two words on our lodge signs everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. What are those two words? Susie, get up.
Bar and bingo.
Bar and bingo. 1900 lodge signs, the greatest charitable and patriotic organization in the country. And we have roadside signs where millions of cars drive by every day, and I read bar and bingo. Bar and bingo. What's our reputation in our communities?
Bar and bingo.
Who told them that? Stop. Okay, but then we looked and we said, there's more opportunity here. There's more opportunity here. So we started testing things. We're always testing things. We're always rolling things out. Because just because it's a good idea in our heads doesn't mean it would actually work. You need to know the two, so you roll things out. And we're actually testing things now that you'll see next year. Do they work? Do they work? Do they work? Again, it's got to be just better than an idea. It's got to actually have an impact. So we started taking, instead of having these brick buildings on the lodges, we started going into areas. See, they give back to your community. What was our messages earlier that we wanted to do? Yeah, change your sign, change your image. We started taking the sides of buildings or the fronts of buildings, and we wanted 2 messages. Give back to your community. Well, who does it better than us? Because people think we're just a bar or a place to play bingo. We give back to our community, become an elk. There is this ghost statue. Ghost statue. Those were, where people just like make up a statue or take part of a statue and their politics, they push their politics. You've seen that, right? You've been around Elkham enough. Those are ghost statues. Well, there's always this thing that's been out there. You cannot promote membership. What? Maybe that's why we lost 1 million members. You cannot promote membership as guaranteed. There's a big difference. You can promote membership. You can't promote that everybody's guaranteed to be a member. You still have to pass the 4 tests, right? Age 21, must believe in
God.
Must be of good,
Citizen.
must be an American.
Citizen.
So, we all have to go through this. You can't promote everybody can join. Everybody can, but you can get the message, become an elk. They're 2 different things. So we started branding the outside of our buildings. And what is the 2 points we wanted to make? Give back to your community. We're the organization. And think about this. History has repeated itself. When we started 150 years ago, we just come off the Civil War. Our politicians were divided and our country was divided. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? We are the true sanctuary. We are apolitical. We are what makes people work together. We are what makes our country better. Because we find common cause for the better of our community and we work together, all parties. We're apolitical. We're the solution. We have never been stronger to be part of than ever before. Who believes that? Absolutely. We're part of the solution in this nation right now like never before, just like when we started. And so it's very important. We're a place they can go with no politics in terms of what you see on the TV, with the talking heads, for the betterment of this community. And if it's better for the betterment for the community, it's better for the nation, right?
Right.
So we'll create these signs for you. As a matter of fact, when you go down to the J.D. Turin 150th booth, they're already selling them. We've been working. You can already get these signs today. What we've done too, we've tested this in North Dakota. Because there's so much traffic going by. Again, people don't know what the Elks do. Oh, it's an old drinking club. Oh, they're bar and bingo. Oh, it's this. All the wrong messages and not true. So we started this win sales, and again, we'll create this artwork for you. Again, membership, give back to your community. But we work with you on making sure the brand is correct. We create the artwork. You can get a sign like that. This is as low as $40 in some markets, up to 100, and you can take these windsill signs, park them in front of your building, or when you're at a hoop shoot or a youth activity. This advertisement of what we do goes with you, and it brings attention to who you are at almost no cost. And it's we take the brand with us as we go in a unique way, and it works like a charm. We're bringing a lot of attention. So we create these signs for you for your outdoor. And obviously we've been working on, and we see a lot of you taking advantage of this. Change our sign, change our image. So the $45 million or $40 million, your lodge is number, yes?
714.
714. So they've been around 116 to 20 years. Instead of bar and bingo, his lodge is probably $12 million. And again, if we, at least once a quarter, we put our charitable impact up in that community. McDonald's, one of the worst products, has been around for a lot of years. What you see on the Golden Arches is being served every day, right? Haven't they done that since day one? Why do they do that? It works. So what we do is we come back, and the Grand Lodge Committee will help you, and I'll help you. We come back with your charitable numbers since you started off. So think about this. If you were driving by the Moose or the Legion or the Eagles, and you saw in your community $12 million donated to this community, what would your impression be of the Moose or the Eagles? Wow. Wow. I got a lot of respect. Wow. That's someplace I need to be joining. They do a lot. We earn that. So what we do, we give you the numbers, we give you the estimate of what your lodge, your charitable impact, you put it up, you change your sign, you change your image. You change your sign, you change your image. You do it once a quarter, and you're gonna see the light up. Funny story, and I'm not gonna tell you what state because my memory fails me, but somebody, it might have been your state, it might have been Florida, actually, you said in front, told me, Rick, we're changing our sign, we do it once a quarter. I can't believe that our members at the bar, when we change that sign, it's one of the first things they talk about was, look what we've done for this community. And I said, well, that's great. He says, but no, you don't understand. They're talking about what we've done for the community. They're no longer talking about each other at the bar. So, okay, that's pretty good benefit. They're talking from pride, from unity, from community involvement, and so it was a good benefit. Okay. So this is kind of an idea. If you pulled up to somebody's lodge and you saw this in the front of the building, what's your mind tell you? Nice, right? Ooh. Lodge 14, Rhode Island. You here? Oh, you could have won a prize. Could have won a prize. I just have to keep this $1,000 in my pocket. I'm trying to think of his name. District deputy a couple of years ago. Mark Eaton. Great guy. Driver of change, the whole bit. We first tested his sign in your state. And Rhode Island, again, New England, an area that, I mean, it's one of the oldest states, first state, right? Or Delaware is. Where's Priscilla? Don't be yelling at me just because I blew my history lesson there.
We're in the top 13 originally.
Yeah. Well, you're in my top 16 growth states. That's what matters to me, bud. And here they are. You know, you would take a state like Rhode Island, they're growing membership every year now. But one of the things we did, we tested a sign like this in front of his lodge. And just all the people coming in, the lodge was going down, it was an older building, and they were willing to accept some change and go through some things. And we tested the sign there, and they're 4 years of growth. He says, you know, it puts people in their head that we do a lot for the community and how to join. Simple messages work. So this is what, this idea, we started testing it in your state, actually. And
I believe their census doubled.
yeah, they're what?
I believe their census, their membership doubled.
Say, get up and tell them that, because I really like hearing that one.
Mark Eaton is past PD is Tri-City Lodge 14 in Warwick, and they got together and they flipped that lodge, and they've if not at least doubled their membership.
In 4 years. 4 years, in one of the oldest parts of the country. 4 years. This is kind of fun. It reminds me when I go to Weight Watcher meetings, but it's the opposite. The more we gain, the better we are. Then I would have been great in that meeting too. So this whole thing would change. So some of the things that we threw at you right now, we're going to get into a panel, but I wanted to just hit some things and we go back, and we're going to have this up on the website. So let's talk. We have new metrics in place to get people through the pipeline because we need to get them initiated, yes? We need to get them initiated. And that's something you've got to really treat it as a payday. Now, with the orientation enhancements that you didn't know that we had in place, My Journey Begins, virtual experiences that actually excite them, inspire them, videos that really make them want to be more involved. We're going to create, we have the e-greeting where we have touch points with every new member to get them involved in My Journey Begins, to get them to recruit. We're going to be with the membership application we'll have online. You have indoor and outdoor branding opportunities to help build your committee stronger and better than ever before. You have all these things outside, printables, ready to go. We have Elk Stew. You want to say it one more time? 1, 2, 3.
Elk Stew.
We have the Elk Stew thing ready to launch. To be more friendly with the Midnight Trustees. We'll even get them to say the right thing. They'll probably argue, that's not true. That's not true. But we have all these things that we rolled out for you this year, ready to go, and to take this. Here's kind of a thing, I'm going to jump the gun a little bit because I'm pretty excited about this. Every year, we have to start with what our delinquency is. In the past 3 years, because that's a hard number, that's what we got to come over, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. In 3 years together, we have 24,000 less delinquents that we have to overcome. We improved on that this year, to start this year, by another 7,000. On an average dues, this is not Grand Lodge, this is to the nation. This is to the lodge. This is where I I focus on, this is where we focus on together, is the lodge. So that's what makes Coran Lodge great, is one lodge at a time. When you look at $100 an average of dues, not kind of food, beverage, or charitable revenue, that's $24 million and more dues paying than 3 years ago. That's really significant. You know, it's spread over the country, but man, we just started. This thing can work when we all get involved. That's good news, yes? Yeah, you see it in drips and drabs, maybe at your lodge, but together it's a heck of an impact. Over 800,000 members. We're 7,000 fewer delinquents starting this year than last year. So I'm very optimistic together with all the things we got going. The Meltwater platform, that was pretty cool that we introduced, right? To get right into the reporters, to right into the influencers, all the measurements. Got so much going on for you. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. So